Welcome to the Transparent FX Academy. I'm Nick and I'm a top author on TradingView with over 190k reputation points.
In this video, I will be speaking about the Forex sessions. Most importantly, this will not be one of those general videos about the 4 major Forex sessions, but I will be diving in detail into exactly what you need to know about the alternation of the 4 major Forex sessions when it comes to developing trading strategies for those sessions, because a strategy that works in one specific session has a high probability of not working in another session because there are some fundamental changes that happen from one session to another. So these are all very important things and it's very important to know them. And I will also show you some real examples of my own strategies and how they're developed and tailored for different sessions. So this is definitely a tutorial you do not want to miss, and make sure to watch it till the end. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, first of all, which are the 4 major Forex sessions? Well, we all heard of them already, probably. The 4 major sessions are the Sydney session, Tokyo session, London session, and New York session. And it is very important, first of all, to clarify the major difference between these sessions. These are obviously the different markets. So essentially the different, when people refer to as market hours, usually they're referring to, okay, are we in the London session? Are we in the New York session? But the major difference between these sessions is there are actually 2 major differences. First of all, the players involved. Obviously, during the New York session, there will be more players of the US involved into that market. For the Tokyo session, there will be more Asian players which are inside and trading the Asian session. But the most fundamental concept that you really need to take into account when you're developing any kind of trading strategy, and that is what we will be looking at, is the liquidity. So how the liquidity changes throughout these sessions, because when liquidity changes, also the spreads change, the executions change. You could have much higher slippage when there is low liquidity. You will certainly have much higher spreads when there is a decrease in liquidity. So how does the liquidity change throughout these sessions? Well, first of all, let's take the start of the day. Okay, let's take, for example, in this case, well, we're taking as a benchmark, let's just take London. Okay, so let's start from the midnight in London. This is what is referred to as the Asian session. We're currently in the Asian session time, and there is extremely low liquidity. If you look here, trading volume is very low here because essentially there are less players in the market. There is less liquidity. The volume is low. If you're looking to develop any kind of, for example, trend following strategy, it is usually not advisable to be looking at trend following during the Asian session, because usually during the Asian session, when there is such low liquidity, you will have more ranging price action with respect to, for example, when we have the peak of liquidity. So during the overlap of the New York and London sessions here, when there is both the London and New York markets which are both open at the same time, that is where you have the peak of liquidity, which actually in this case is exactly when I'm recording this tutorial. I'm recording it exactly at the overlap of the London and New York sessions. So when there is peak liquidity and peak volume, so the spreads are the tightest. In fact, if you have a good broker and right now you are in the peak hour and you're looking at your broker, most likely if you have, for example, a raw spread account, you will have 0 pips spread, right? You will have 0 pips on Euro USD spread if you have a good broker with a raw spread account. That is because you have the highest volume. While when the New York session will close, you will notice that there's a huge increase in the spread, and that is because the liquidity and essentially volume dries up, and at that point usually the market starts ranging again. So already 2 simple things: it is usually better to develop trend following strategies when it comes to the London and New York sessions, while it's better to look at ranging strategies when it comes to the Asian session. But we have to be very careful, for example, with the spread, because there will be a spread increase during the Asian session. Therefore, we have to take that into account when we're developing our strategy and backtesting it, okay? So that is exactly what I will be showing you now. I will be showing you some of my personal strategies, and we will be looking exactly at two different kind of strategies. So one that is in fact a trend following strategies, which is my London breakout strategy. And I will show you my EA that trades the London breakout strategy, which I have developed. And the other one is the liquid drop expert advisor, which essentially trades the liquidity drop during the Asian session. So let's go and check them out. So I have them here, the files already compiled. So let's take, for example, my London breakout EA. Okay. Now, if you are not familiar with what EAs are, essentially when you have a trading strategy, if it is a trading strategy which is well defined, okay, so if your strategy has a clear set of rules, then you can automate it. There is no reason for you to be trading that strategy manually. If you can automate that system and that strategy, and if a strategy is well enough defined, so if the rules of a strategy are clear enough, there is always a possibility to automate that strategy, and you absolutely should automate that strategy so it can trade automatically for you. In fact, the reason for which MT4 and MT5 are so popular is not because people are trading on it manually. The real reason for which they're so popular, and the trading gurus on YouTube will not tell you this, is because there is a huge ecosystem behind that, which is based on automated trading, because automated trading is the way to go. Because if a strategy is clear, has a clear set of rules, then you can absolutely automate it, okay? Because if it has clear rules, you can just write the rules into the code. It can be an MQL5 code, it can be MQL4 code, depending if you're trading on MT4 or MT5. But in the end, you can absolutely automate the strategy. And once you have in EA, which is the expert advisor, which is essentially simply an algorithm which you have written that is looking to implement that strategy depending on the inputs that you are putting in it, at that point, you can use this, which is the backtester. Probably if you're already familiar with this, you know exactly what I'm speaking about and what we're about to do. You can take the algorithm, download the historical data for that symbol that the strategy is looking to trade, and you can run that algorithm on the system. So you can essentially backtest and look how your strategy would have performed if it was trading on that historical data, essentially with some limitations, but that is the closest that you can get to real proper backtesting, right? So let's take, for example, my London breakout EA, which trades, in fact, obviously GBP USD, which is the major currency for the London session. And this one trades on the 1 hour time frame. For now, we will just be using the current spread. And it is, in fact, a trend following system. So this will look to essentially, try to catch the trend for the day on GBP USD. That is why it is called the London breakout. Expert advisor, I have called it the London breakout expert advisor because it looks to capitalize on the breakout during the London session. And as you can see now, it is essentially trading on it. And if we go and see and check out here what is going on, this is essentially our balance. We can see how it is actually trading quite nicely and with quite good performance, right? We are now at more than 100 trades executed, basically. And you will see that I will now let the backtest run a bit. As you can see, we're now testing hundreds, and we will actually be testing thousands of trades during this backtest on the historical data. And this gives us the possibility to test how much a strategy can actually perform, right? In obviously historical data conditions. And let me now, just to be quicker on this backtest, I will now deactivate the visual mode, and I will be running the backtest on more than the last 10 years, essentially, but with the visual mode deactivated, so we can go quicker. So as you can see now, it will go much quicker because it doesn't have to compute essentially the time frames. So that is basically what we're doing here, right? We're backtesting a strategy very quickly over thousands of trades on that symbol. Now, what do you think this strategy and this backtest would actually look like if we were trading this exact same strategy, but on, let's say, the Asian session instead of the London session? Now, in that case, the results would be completely different. Most importantly, the results, since I have done that already, would be quite terrible because we're looking to trade something that is actually a breakout strategy, so a kind of a trend following strategy. We're looking to trade that in a moment of the market where the market is actually most likely ranging. So our edge over that market is actually quite low. So I will now I will now stop this backtest. As you can see, it kind of already 4x'd the account. So we're already now started from 100,000. Now we're already at 400,000 in around 2,000 trades. So as you can see, we already backtested quite a lot and it's looking very nice. And I will now show you how a strategy that trades during the Asian session, it would be the same thing. A strategy that trades the Asian session needs to be developed for the Asian session, because if you try to run a strategy that is a trend following strategy on the Asian session, and would it work? Same thing. If I was looking to now test the next strategy that I have on the London session, it would be completely a mess. It would absolutely not work because these are two completely different trading environments. And the basics of the difference of these two trading environments is, in fact, the difference in the liquidity that we have throughout these sessions, because you're essentially, in one case, you're trading in an extremely low volatility, low volume, and low liquidity scenario. And here you're actually trading with very high liquidity, very low spreads. So you have a high probability of trend developing. So this is all very important basics things that you need to know when it comes to developing your own strategy. So let's take now, for example, my other strategy. So the liquid drop destroyer, and we will be running it on the pair that is supposed to be run on, which is NZD-CHF, but also runs on other pairs. And I will be doing the backtest, and you will see that actually it trades, in fact, during the Asian session quite nicely. So this expert advisor name obviously comes, liquid drop actually stands for liquidity drop, because in fact it looks to trade exactly when there is a liquidity drop, which is essentially during the Asian session. And if we run this quickly on this test without the visual mode activated, so as you will see here it looks quite nice, but I can guarantee you that if I run this, simply changing the parameters and making it trade the exact same system, but for example, in the London or New York sessions, then this would look completely different, okay? And it would look completely different in a quite negative way, okay? It would perform much more poorly. Actually, it would most likely not be profitable and be actually a losing system from the backtest. So that is how important and key that is one of the most important things when it comes to developing trading systems, knowing exactly what kind of edge you're looking to seek in the market and knowing in which session you are. So either in the Asian, New York, London session, you need to know these things because these are the most important things. Then obviously there are so many more things, but I would say this is one of the most fundamental things and one of the basics. Unless obviously you're looking to develop something that holds trades for example, multiple days. Then in that case, if you're holding trades for multiple days, then that is a completely different story. But when it comes for day traders especially, these kind of concepts are incredibly important. So I hope I was able to clarify here and give you some context on how important it is to know what kind of sessions you're looking to trade. All these general analysis, tutorials, and concepts that you see me speak about on my YouTube channel are really just the tip of the iceberg, because if you really want to learn more, I will definitely suggest that you go and check out the transparentfxtrading.com website, which you find also linked in description. Here, you will have the possibility to gain access to all my courses. So really complete courses that will guide you from the very basics of charting all the way up to more advanced concepts like building algorithmic trading strategies using quantitative finance tools like the quant analyzer to build portfolios of strategies, and a lot of really important and really interesting things that you need to know if you want to become a better trader. So this is something you really cannot afford to miss. You also have the possibility to gain access to the trading station software with the Telegram notifications integration, one-on-one mentoring directly with me, the COT data software that you often see me use on the YouTube channel, and you also have the possibility to integrate with gaining access to all my EAs, so my personal EAs, the ones that I have developed and that I trade on my own account, and also to have access to the trading show, which is essentially a live stream of all trades coming from my account directly on the Telegram channel as they are executed and managed. Here on the website, you will see that there is the complete presentation of all the EAs that I personally run. And if you continue to scroll down, you will see that you have the possibility to join and gain automatically access with the email and password that you will create during the checkout process. And there is also per time slot the special discount. So at the moment, there are 10 days before the next price increase. So I would really suggest that you go and check it out as soon as possible. The link is in description, and I will see you in it. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like. Also, if you have any suggestions on any topics or pairs that you would like me to cover in the next videos, make sure to drop them in the comments below, and I will see you in my next video.